Why are games so expensive? Recently, with the announcement showing off of the Nintendo Switch 2, I noticed that the price of the upcoming Mario Kart World, granted a game I am very excited for, and I already have the Switch 2 bundle coming on release, but still, it is an 109 AUD game. And my question is, when did games become so expensive? If there were a good reason for it and Mario Kart World had shown off something crazy like, I don't know, free updates and DLCs for the next 1 to 2 years, or maybe an ever-evolving world or something, but no. It's really just Mario Kart open world-ish kinda. And I'm not complaining about the actual contents of the game. But $109, really? Now, obviously this is Nintendo being greedy and wanting to squeeze out as much money as possible. Which is a real shame, because Nintendo used to be a company with integrity and genuine passion for video games. Nintendo games have never been cheap. Almost always a game that was released on the Switch was 80 to 90 AUD and it was expensive, let's not get me wrong here, but not so much to where I was confused. It costs a lot and it was something that I had to make sure I really wanted if I bought it. And like, if we look for an example here, Mario Kart Odyssey, or Mario World Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, all of these games were expensive, or even just the general Mario games, like the Tennis Aces, or that soccer one. They were all around the same cost, and I had to actually want the game to buy it. But now the cost just it's just not justified. Which makes it even sadder that I still bought the Nintendo Switch 2 in Mario Kart World. It just feels like we can't escape the greed of these video game companies. For example, another one, Sony. Sony also have had a lot of issues, other than the fact that they led that $70 USD price hike that increased the prices on almost all new upcoming games, which, I mean, it's bad in itself, but that's not really what I'm going to talk about here. It's the fact that they released the PS5 Pro, a console of almost nothing really that good other than a pretty slight increase to the specs of the console, being charged for 1200 AUD. Now I get that it's for those people who are really trying to get the most for the console, but a $500 increase in price for a slight increase is so bizarre. You pay these high prices for the console, like a $700 PS5, and then you have to pay $90 to $100 just for a basic game on the PS5, or up to $125 regarding what God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2. Both games cost a lot of money, and that's just what you get from starting playing the console. Just the cost to actually just play any game. Now, I understand the argument that some people have that the price of the games actually aren't any more expensive nowadays. Like, inflation has led them to look like they cost more, and, you know, that's just not true. There's a few problems with the argument, mainly that wages and income have not gone up with inflation. So, people's money still has not gone up, but the prices have. So, although yes, inflation's gone up, it's not like we're fine now, it's the same now, we're just out of suddenly complaining. It's not like it's not any more expensive, it simply is. I also see an old photo of the old Nintendo games prices floating around saying these games actually were more expensive back then and cheaper now, which is very deceptive because it's not true at all. These games and the prices for them were physical games, a bunch of stuff that comes with the physical games like guides, packaging, even cool little extras they add in. And not only that, but the cost of shipping and sending out these games at all. So why do these digital prices and physical prices that literally only have the physical discs, right? These new games only have physical discs or they're digital. Why do they cost the same or not more? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's clear bullshit. The next part of this video is more of a tangent on Xbox just being annoying. But they bought Call of Duty just to charge $100 for each new game, which they're pretty much doing every year anyway. I don't know if they're releasing a new one this year, but if they are, they're doing it every year. I don't know what they don't understand with charging premium prices for a game nobody really wants as much anymore. That is the same thing it was last year. Over a long time, it's really going to slow down that player base because it's a big cost every year to play a game that you're becoming less and less fond of each and every year because it's the same thing every year. It feels like, why buy a new game if I can just keep the old one, maybe just play on something I enjoy more, or just not play the game at all, because there's alternatives I can play now, because there are a lot of alternatives popping up, not as big as Call of Duty of course, but if you really want the alternative, it's there. And I get Game Pass. Game Pass is great. I really do like Game Pass. It's my favorite thing to get related to games, because I just have this big library of games I can play on PC, and there's exclusives, and it's really cool. So I do appreciate that. But there's a big but. That does not change the fact that a lot of these games that Microsoft are releasing and going to release now are going to cost $80 USD, by the way. For this specific bit, 80 USD. 80 USD. What are we doing, man? Why are we increasing the price even fucking more? Why are we doing it? There's no reason to. It's just increasing. No one's going to buy that, man. No one's going to buy a new Xbox game, especially if it's not something we actually give a fuck about. I think game companies are getting confused nowadays. They think their next game is going to be GTA 6. No, you're not GTA 6. You're not like a big staple franchise like Mario Kart, who people will pay money for. You're not. Especially if you're releasing a new Halo, for example, like that. I'm not saying they have or going to, but it's kind of the comparison I'm using. It's like releasing a new Halo and then expecting people to pay the same amount of money they would for GTA 6 or for Mario Kart, and being like, why wouldn't they want to pay the same? It's like, you're not that game anymore. Halo, if you dropped Halo 3 and in its prime, and we knew now, then yes, of course we'll pay that money, but we know Halo is not as good as it used to be. We know it's kind of like, do I even care about the new Halos? Not really. Why would I pay that? The Halo Infinite Online was free, but then they also added fucking nothing to it, so it's like, it's a free game, but it's like, what's the point if it's got nothing in the game? The story was shit. I don't think it wasn't even a story in the first place. You have to pay for the story, which just makes it feel like, why would I pay for the story? I love Halo story, I love that, but it's like, dude, if I can just play the online, it's free, why would I pay a bunch of money to play the story? It just feels stupid. This to me is just, it's more of a side thing to what I've discussed already, but it's something that irks me so much. It's like, why? But yeah, these games that are not worth the money being the same price as other games that still aren't worth the money, but at least make fucking more sense to why they're worth that, or that price tag is on them. I mean, Nintendo do it pretty well with, they charge only for they're greedy, but they're charging, the ones that they are charging a lot of money for, like the no $80 Mario Kart, it doesn't make sense, but it's like, that is the staple franchise. That's a staple game in that franchise. So at least it's not like every game's going to be that price. Hopefully not. Every game won't be that price. Thank God, because holy shit, what I would do with that, because every game. So there is positives to see from it. I mean, not really. It's just making the best out of a bad situation. But hopefully prices go down in gaming. Hopefully these companies realize you're not going to make money if you keep charging. And I get just one more final point I think I have to point out there, is that there will be some people, or even the companies, being like, well, it costs a lot to make these games, so we need to charge more to actually get a return on the games. Maybe I don't spend so fucking much money on the game then, mate. This is what the development cycles of these games are getting too fucking insane, man. It's getting too long. It's getting like, no one wants to wait this much time for this game, or this game coming out. It's not every game is a GTA 6, you know what I mean? That's kind of my point. You don't all get the same grace period of taking that long, paying that much money for a game that not many people wanted. Like, you have to know how much money that game could return you, and at a really reasonable price. Because if you increase the price of these games, you're gonna get less people buying them in the first place, far less. So it's stupid from all fronts, in my opinion. And they basically, what my big response to that whole, it costs a lot of money to make games nowadays is maybe don't make your game so fucking expensive and long to make. Not every game needs to be really long and expensive. We, the consumers, do not have to pay you money just so you don't lose money on a game you spend a lot of money on. It's not our fault that you spent that much money on the game. You have to use your own brain here. I'm not going to say games are not more expensive for any valid reason. They are. Some are. Some need to cost more. But GTA 6, for example, that is not going to cost 80 USD. I'm telling you now, it won't cost $100, sorry. It probably will be 80, but it definitely will not be 100. I keep people saying it's going to be $100. No, it's not. Why would they do that? It makes no sense. To me, it's just a lot of misinformation surrounding just why games are so expensive. Some people just defending it for no reason. Like, if GTA 6 can be under $100, like $80, and that they spent, what, billions of dollars on that game, and years on that game, I think no other game has an excuse to charge that much, or ever charge anything even close to that, because they're not GTA 6, man. So, that's just my whole rant for the day, for this video. I just had to talk about it. It was something on my mind, and it is a problem. It is a real problem in the gaming industry right now. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you guys watch my next video, because that's coming out pretty soon as well. See you guys. Bye.